Hey guys, Akil here. Before we hop into today's episode, I want to give you guys an update. We have just officially opened registration for our latest free trading workshop. It's going to be called the Confident Trader Collective. I'll throw a link in the bottom of the show notes of this podcast, but it's going to be an awesome opportunity to learn new skills, cultivate belief, and finally become the confident trader that you know you're destined to be. So I look forward to seeing you on that week. It's going to be August 17th through the 20th. 4 days free. Come get yourself some education. All right. Enjoy today's episode. So, good example, two different traders, same trade, same entry technique, same reason for entry, same entry technique, different targets. And you can just see how dynamic trading could be. And we talk about how it's, one of the things I hate the most is when people are like, hey, Akil, head and shoulders don't work. And it's like, well, maybe they don't work for you, but you do realize that just because you trade head and shoulders, I mean, this can go for any type of strategy, just because you trade head and shoulders doesn't mean we trade it the right way or the same way. Entries could be different. Obviously, recognition first and foremost could be different, right? Our eyes could be seeing different things, but entries could be different. Stops could be different. Targets could be different. All of these are going to play a role in the expectancy of your strategy. And this is why it's absolutely stupid when people comment on what you're trading. Like it's the stupidest thing in the world. Have you guys ever experienced that? Have you ever gotten a comment that what you're trading is wrong or something like that? Or like, oh, I've tested that and it doesn't work. You shouldn't trade it. Any of you guys or just me? Because I'm the same person that's getting fake accounts made of them so they can scam people, right? But it's if you think about it, right? You guys have been through testing. One tweak can make a massive difference in your results, right? You can do everything the same. You can identify every single formation the same way. Your entry can be exactly the same. Your targets can be exactly the same. But what if someone's using a 1 pip stop loss versus a 1 ATR stop loss? Do you think the results are going to be different? Massively. You think if someone's using a higher high, higher close entry versus a double bottom entry, the results are going to be different? Massively. A set limit order or a stop order for entry versus a 2618 super conservative entry, massively. Conservative targets versus aggressive targets, massively, right? There's no way, unless someone is testing something, unless someone has taken your eyes out of your head and put them into your head, and they're in their own head, and they're seeing exactly the same thing that you are, and they're trading it the exact same way, every single trade in the exact same way, and they've gotten results that are negative, there's no way they can tell you that what you're doing is wrong because they're just not trading the same way. Maybe they're doing it wrong. Maybe there's a recognition problem with what they're identifying or how they're trading it. Maybe there's a problem with their stop loss or their target taking. But it's so stupid every time you hear that. And it's like, the problem is, right, I can care less, obviously, at this point. I told you guys a story a few weeks ago, but about some guy that was offended when he found out I traded advanced patterns. I'm like, okay. He's like, Akil, I lost all respect for you once I found out you trade these funny named animals. I'm like, cool. Okay. Should I be hurt by that? No. I checked my bank account and it didn't change at all, so I was cool with it. I said, wait a minute. No. Account size is the same. It's okay. But you get people like that. So it doesn't bother me. But the problem is newer traders that don't have confidence, that don't have the experience, that don't have a track record of something working to kind of put in their arsenal, you can start to doubt yourself. That's the problem. especially if it's someone that comes from a place of authority. And in these days, what counts as authority on the internet? If you have the most followers, right? Is it the right way to assume authority? No, but let's be honest. If two people commented on your status and one of them has like 1 million followers and another one has one, you're probably giving more credit to the person that has 1 million followers because you assume that they're better. Now, obviously, yeah, those followers can be paid for or bought, or the whole type of different shenanigans that happen on social media. I get a message every day about, hey Akil, I don't think you have enough followers based on your blah 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 blah. Buy my service. Let me get you blah blah blah. Let me get you organic followers. I'm like, well, no. If I wanted you to get me, if I want organic followers, I'm not gonna pay someone to get me followers. Doesn't that defeat the purpose? That's what I hit him back with. I'm like, you said organic followers, and why would I hire someone to get me followers if I wanted? So you never know. But that's our perception. That's our perception because we really don't have any other way to judge. And sometimes you can get discouraged. Sometimes you can have an idea, and we know how testing goes. I spoke to not Richard on the platform this morning. I spoke to John on the platform this morning, who was he's looking at ciphers. He's like, man, I gotta look at a different way to trade ciphers because I'm doing this limit order thing and they all fail. And I had to scratch my head. I'm like, they all fail. I'm like, what pair are you testing? He's like, well, Aussie Canada. I'm like, Aussie, that's one of the best pairs to test them on. So my thought is that it could be a recognition problem, or it could be just he's in a losing streak, and that happens. But we all get to a point in that testing period where we start to have doubts, where something doesn't work, right? We all get to those drawdowns and we start doubting it. And when you're hit with a comment that says, hey, this doesn't work, you're stupid for trading it, it kind of feeds into what we want to hear at the moment. And sometimes we could be negatively influenced by that. So we gotta be careful. I think we can all do that for you, Akil. We'll for all you guys, open 100 different accounts and follow me. Because if I have more followers, how does that help me again? Wait a minute. What's the benefit of me having more followers again? I spend all this money on followers, but what's the purpose of it? Brag to my okay, yeah. Exactly. Gavin says, I don't want to have BS followers, so I don't put out content that attracts low quality followers. Yeah, there's a great book. I forgot who it's written by. It's called Tribes. Give me a second to rummage through my library. I might have linked it out, but it's a good book called Tribes. And if you're ever someone, and this is important for you guys that are going into social media, whether you're starting vlogs or blogs or going into educational services or anything to promote yourself and build your build your reputation up. It's a great book to read. I recommend reading it because I think the first thing that people want to do when they're looking to kind of build their social media presence is get as many followers as possible. It's all about the followers. Why? Because it's a very easy way to quantitate. You can quantify performance by the amount of followers. It's a very easy thing, right? But it's very similar to trading in this sense, right? Because let's put your mind back in kind of the rookie trader mindset. If I told you that, how would you quantify a good trading strategy? What's one of the first things you would say? What do we often associate good with in almost every aspect of life? Think rookie trader, right? Probably win percentage, right? Newer trader coming into the market, and I told you, hey, I got two strategies. One's an 80% winner. one's a 60% winner. Which are you assuming is the better strategy? I mean, that should be 100 out of 100 traders are going to answer the higher one, right? Again, coming in with not the concept of win percentage doesn't matter as much as we think, but with everything else in life, right? You take a test in school, right? You get a higher grade, that's better. I mean, almost every other aspect of life is the higher number is better. So with followers on social media, we kind of assume the same thing. Hey, the only way I can measure my success is by how many likes I get on this video, by how many watches I get on this video, by how many followers I have. So we default to overvaluing that stat, and we do everything for the followers. There was a really good post. It was either a post or a message I heard from Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Gary V, where he got a message from a young lady, and she put out this awesome post, right? This awesome educational, inspirational post, and it got like 20 likes. She then put out a post of her in like a swimsuit, very skimpy bikini, and it got like 2,000 likes. And she's like, I like doing posts like the former, but I only get likes if I do posts like the latter, right? And it's how we judge. But we can't get sucked into that because, again, if you think about it this way, like Gabby mentioned earlier, she doesn't want BS followers, right? Are the likes, I would say this, the 20 likes that you got on your and these numbers are made up, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but the 20 likes that you got on this post that was educational, inspirational, are going to be more valuable than the 2,000 likes that you got on the booty shot, right? Because think about it, who's liking the booty pic? Is your target demographic liking the booty pic? No, it's the weirdos, right? It's the perverts and the weirdos. It's those people that are liking it and commenting, right? And there's a lot more of them trolling around social media, right? So it's the quality of your follower, which is much more important than the quantity of your follower. And it's much better to have a smaller following that is engaged, that is useful. And when I say useful, I mean that they're willing to engage in good discussions, good conversations, ask good questions, versus just having a lot of random people. Because when it comes down to your ask, and if you're starting a social media profile for business reasons, at some point there's going to be an ask. It could be an ask, whether it's like, I used to do this once a year, where it's like, hey guys, can you vote for me for most popular Twitter follower or best trader follower on Twitter or YouTube? Jason Greystone did one the other day where it's like, hey guys, I've been nominated for my podcast by the European podcast something. Can you do me a favor and vote for it? When it comes time for that ask, it could be anything else. You can be selling a course, you can be selling a whatever. You can just put out your first YouTube video and just try to get a lot of likes. You could be starting a podcast. Doesn't matter what it is. When it comes time to your ask, who do you think is going to respond to that? The 20,000 weirdos that liked your booty pic, or the 20 or the small number of hardcore followers that actually like your message and are in your tribe? It's going to be those followers, right? So why are we wasting time on the people that don't matter? Aside from the fact that it's a quantitative figure that we think shows our success, and it doesn't. But it's really hard to think that way. It's really hard to think that way because we've been trained in every other aspect of life not to think that way. It's hard going to your teacher and being like, I got the wrong answer, but I did the work the right way. And it's like, so it's tough. But tribe. Read that book. Read that book if you get a chance. I voted for Jason Podcast, and that was without the booty pic. Really? In the email I got, there was a booty pic with Jason. Huh. I assumed that everyone... No? You guys didn't know? Anyone else get that email? No? Oh, okay. Well, me neither, guys. Yeah, I guess I was on the special list. Might have been for a different weekend, different weekend newsletter that Jason puts out. It didn't say anything about what it's called, the Naked Trader podcast. No, that's not it. Naked Trading with Jason Greystone. That's not the. Is that not the one you voted for? No. I mean, I'm all about price action and no indicator, so that's what attracted me in the first place, and then obviously other things caught my attention. Wow. Anyway, before that image gets ingrained in your head, if it's not already, let's continue on our dollar.